So we are going to move on to the next question. This video is starting from positively the previous video, where it's a series of, if you check, there's going to be part 3 somewhere. This is going to be the part 4 of this math session, the May June 2026 question paper, just elaborating and discussing to see what exactly we expected. So in this video, we shall start from question paper 1, question 2.2. Question 2.2, we have negative 1, negative 4x. Then we also have 11. We also have 2x plus 12. And we are told that this is a quadratic. This is a quadratic sequence. Now, the first thing that should quickly come to your mind is, what then are the properties of a quadratic sequence? So properties of a quadratic sequence are such that a quadratic sequence is what are called the first differences. Yes, the first differences. Okay, but in fact, before we can get to the properties, first differences, second differences, let's get what was the question here. The question was very simple. The question was solve for x, a question for 4 marks. So we are just given this, a quadratic sequence, solve for x for 4 marks. Okay, let's start the process. Solve for x here, it means that the explanation that you need to know is that whenever there's an unknown along the sequence, you only solve an unknown by using a property. What's the property? Property of a sequence is, if it's quadratic, it has second difference and first differences. Property of arithmetic, it has only the first differences. Property of geometric, it has what are called common ratios. So here we shall use the property, which is the first difference and the second difference. Let's go ahead. First difference is t2 minus t1, negative 4x minus negative 1. This is going to give you negative 4x minus is going to be plus 1. Okay, another difference is that 11 minus negative 4. So 11 minus negative 4 is going to be negative. It will give you plus 4x. Then another difference, 2x plus 12 minus 11, it means 2x plus 12 minus 11 is going to give you plus 1. So what do we have? We have first differences. Let's find the second differences. How do you find the second differences? So second differences are such that the first differences are going to subtract each other. This one minus this, we are going to open a bracket. 11 plus 4x. We are subtracting negative 4x plus 1. Okay, but we should understand that second differences are always the same. They're equal. So since second differences are always the same, take this one, subtract this, it should be equal to this. Let's make an equation. Equals to this one, 2x plus 1, subtract what? 11 plus 4x. So you can see we are making kind of like an equation. So let's go ahead and solve this equation. We are going to collect like terms. Open brackets first. 11 plus 4x minus and minus is plus 4x, minus and positive is minus 1 equals to 2x plus 1 minus 11 and then minus 4x. So we open brackets and we have this. After this one, let's collect like terms. One side, 4x plus 4x, bring 2x over here, plus 2x, bring minus 4x over here, is going to be plus. So sorry, this is going to be minus. If this one comes over, it's a minus 2x, then this one becomes plus 4x equals to 1 minus 11. Take 11 over there, it's minus 11. Take 1 is going to be plus 1. So let's go ahead. 4 plus 4 plus 4 will give you 12. 12 minus 2, it becomes 10x equals to minus 11 is minus 22 plus 2 is going to be negative 20. Let's solve for x here. Divide both sides by 10. Divide both sides by 10. You cancel out, x is going to be negative 2. So this is how we basically solve an unknown which is found on a sequence. We use the property, we make an equation for an unknown until we solve for x and we get the unknown. This is how we find x being equals to negative 2. Let's move again to the next question. Our next question is still about the same sequence. Our next question, which is question 2.2.1. So 2.2.1, our next question is about like this. They say that if x is negative 2, so what? You are supposed to show that negative 3x squared, 3n, negative 3n, not x, negative 3n squared plus 18n minus 16. Show that this is the nth term. So this is the question. A question for about 4 marks as well. 4 marks at most. If x is minus 2, you have the sequence. Show that nth term is found by this. How do we show that? Let's go ahead. So we are going to have to understand our first differences. If x is negative 2, this remains. So let's rewrite this first. Before the first differences, let's rewrite these ones. Our sequence is going to be minus 1. X is negative 2. Minus 4 times minus 2, positive 8. There is 11. And then 2 times minus 2, that's negative 4, plus 12 is going to give us positive 8. So we are rewriting this sequence, but this time around without the value of x. So after we substitute x, let's find now the first differences. So our first differences are going to be 8 subtract negative 1, we get 9. 8 subtract negative 1, we get 9. 11 minus 8, we get 3. 8 minus 11, we get minus 3. Our first difference is here. Let's find the second differences. The second difference is 3 minus 9, we get negative 6. Minus 3, we get minus 6. So you see, our first differences are the same. So we can go ahead using the property. What's the first property? Is that second difference is always equal to 2a all the time. Our second difference is negative 6 equals to 2a divided by 2. It means that a is going to be equals to minus 6 over 2, we get negative 3. Okay, we have a. Let's find b. We're going to use the other property, 3a plus b. 3a plus b is what is our first, on our first difference is the first term. First term of the first difference. This 9 is that one, is equals to 9. Let's substitute a, 3 bracket negative 3 plus b is equals to 9. Therefore, b is equals to 9 plus 9, which is equals to what? 18. So b is equals to 18, a is equals to minus 3. We get a, b. Let's move on to find the value of c. We use the first term. Here's our first term, which is equivalent to a plus b plus c equals to minus 1. Let's substitute a, minus 3, plus b, which is 18, plus c is equals to minus 1. To get c, minus 1 plus 3 minus 18 is going to give us negative 16. So that's how we prove that the nth term is minus 3, which is your a, 18, which is your b, minus 16, which is the value of your c. So this is how what we're basically expected to do. And let's move on to the last question, which is 2.2.2 on question 2. So the last question is still about the same sequence. But we have a question about, which is written like this, that they say that calculate, you are supposed to calculate least value of n. That's the question. Calculate least value of n. But here's your condition. The condition is that for which what are called the first differences, for which the first differences are less than negative 1,308. So I'm going to highlight this, that here's a condition for us. List the value of n, which is part of the top, the sequence. So we are going to have our first our sequence again. The quadratic is -1. It was 11, and then we also have -1. We have 8, and we have 11, and we have 8. This is the quadratic. First differences, we say that they are 9, they are 3, they are -3. These are first differences. The second differences, it's -6. But now, when we focus on this sum, for which sum we left this word, the word sum of the first differences, we should know that a quadratic has first differences. Its first differences, it makes another type of a sequence called the arithmetic. So we call them first differences, but they make what is called arithmetic sequence. If they make arithmetic sequence, so what is the sum of these arithmetic, which is less than? Let's write on the formula. Sum of the first n terms is equal to n over 2a plus n minus 1 with a d. That's the formula. But sum of the first n terms is less than negative 1380. We are looking for n. So let's go ahead. I guess now we understand that here's our information. Here's what we need to do. Let's substitute into n. We are looking for n. Our a is 9, not 1. Our d is -6. So let's substitute into the formula. We are going to have our calculations, which are going to start like this. So our first calculation is going to be n over 2a plus n minus 1 with a d is less than negative 1380. This is how you are supposed to start this question. Let's go ahead and solve, substitute. Next step of substitution is going to give us that n remains n over 2. 2a, we said our a is 9, plus n minus 1, our d is -6, less than negative 1380. So step number 1 of solving, cross multiply. 2 multiplies that. Here we are left with n, open bracket. This is 18, open bracket. This is going to be plus 6. This is going to be minus 6n, close bracket. So it's 18 here. -6 times -1 is plus 6. -6 times n is -6n. This is less than 1380 multiplied by 2 is going to give us what? Is going to give us -2760. So now we open the brackets. We are going to have -6n times n, -6n squared. This is 24 times n plus 24n. Take this one over here, is going to be plus 2760 less than 0. Now, what do we have? This is a question about 4 to 5 marks. So we now have a quadratic. We can only solve this quadratic by using quadratic formula. So it's going to be, n is going to be negative b, which is 24 plus or minus, then 24 squared minus 4, our a, -6, our c, 2760, divided by 2a, 2 times -6. So when we substitute into this formula, we are going to get two values of n. So our n our n is either equals to, if you punch a calculator, you're going to get 23,5, or our n is going to be equals to negative 19,5. But of course, we know that we have to reject the negative n because these are number of terms. They can't be negative. So therefore, our n, the minimum value is 23. So n, we round up, is going to be 24. So n has to have a smallest value of 24. 23 to 24, that's the range. So you have solved for n on this condition. So today we end it here. We'll see you again in our next videos. Thank you so much for watching.